Hello everyone, my name is Melissa and today I will be giving my Three Worlds presentation. The verse I chose is Matthew 7:29. Because he taught as one who had authority and not as their teachers of the law. So my literary world is that this basically ties into the relationship that Jesus had with the scribes and the Pharisees. They were the leaders and the holders at the time, and Jesus came to challenge all of that. He didn't want to be like them or take power like them, so he came to fulfill the prophecies of the Old Testament. Jesus was constantly questioned by these people in authority, and he always managed to tap dance around them because he knew that they were out to get him. So my historical world is the teachings at the time came from the scribes. After all, they were the ones that passed history. So stories to be written down, the facts that no one could read or write at the time also had a lot to do with it. Jesus in this passage didn't talk down to the people. He didn't teach the people in order to improve himself or better his station in society. He performed these teachings in order to help others and bring the true kingdom of God to us. The scribes by nature would not been so nicely. So basically, it's like saying that Jesus talked to the people and taught them wisdom, but not in a self-serving manner. Contemporary world. Wisdom should be shared. Truth should be admitted to all. This single line is part of a larger passage. Jesus speaks the truth to those who will listen. In many ways, those today who speak the truth are shunned, and they are not accepted. This would be the same as it was back then. The truth is more valuable nowadays, but people are also more skeptical and believe what they want to hear. So the way I interpret this passage is Jesus came to save the Jews, specifically. The Gentiles were the people who weren't of the Jewish faith. They were the outsiders, and he didn't come save them. In the end, he did, but initially, if you look at the first couple of stories Jesus told, it didn't come down to that. Aside from all of that, what we see is that Jesus came to teach us, or teach them. Jesus was a teacher. He taught off the Old Testament, and he is in the New Testament, so he taught about everything. The main focus is that Jesus taught them, not his scribes. The scribes are the individuals who wrote things down. They were literary members of society. And so if you for example, if you understood a book or a reading, and you teach somebody, you can teach somebody as though if you wrote it yourself. That would be teaching as though you're a scribe. But Jesus taught them as though he was not a scribe. Jesus taught them as though he taught them with knowledge. He taught them like he knew what he was talking about. So what my interpretation of this passage is that Jesus wasn't looking for interpretation. Jesus was the interpretation. Jesus told them what it meant, not as a scribe who was copying or repeating the same words over and over again without knowing the meaning. So that's what I got from reading this passage. Thank you.